parade up the boulevard. That must have been really nice to see.
Yes, yes. And it's interesting, we had football in the early days. And then, of course, there was a period of time, I forget the exact years, later 50s, early 60s, when the school was in difficult financial position. And the size of our student body dropped, and a lot of our activities were restricted, and because we didn't have the finances. But over time, our leadership organized better. The conditions in the country economically improved, and so we grew.
You retired in '95 from full-time teaching, but you still taught some classes all the way up till 2010?
When was the yes, about 2010 or 29. I taught one class for a while there. I taught one class, but I had lots of interests outside of teaching, and so I had to teach my class at 8 o'clock in the morning. And many of the students weren't very supportive of that idea. So after a while, it kind of petered out. But I miss it. I would come back in a minute, but it's difficult to remember. I have difficulty remembering names. I guess this is one of the features of elderly age.
I haven't noticed. I haven't noticed.
But it's true. I have difficulty remembering names.
In 1993 and then '96, there were scholarships for your husband, GW, and yourself. Your husband in '93 and you in '96. And your husband was a pioneer in computer competency.
Yes, yes, yes. In fact, MIT wanted him to go up there. He had developed software and so on for Union Carbide. And, but the problem was I was teaching here and I wasn't going to leave. And my two daughters were in school here, and it would have been maintaining two homes, traveling back and forth. And so we decided, no.
I know this is an incredibly broad question, but what were you most proud of?
You mean with the school?
School and maybe the facets of your teaching here?
Oh, that is a very general question. There's so many things. I think I'm proudest of the teaching in the classroom. I mean, there are a lot of other things that we would do, but I think the actual instruction in the classroom was what I was probably most proud of. Yeah. I loved being with the students and especially motivating them to, and it was so interesting because many students, like you mentioned Gordon Berlin never took advantage of his abilities. He could float through school because he was smart enough. But most students, by their sophomore year, began to realize that soon they were going to graduate and they were going to have to make decisions and be a mature. Many of these students would suddenly realize how necessary it is to apply themselves. And that's when the juniors and the seniors were really fun to be with.
Any advice to young faculty today?
Love your subject. Want to spread the information and knowledge and understanding of your subject to others, and then everything else will fall in place.
I think we're good. Is there anything that I've said or you've talked about just triggered any other?
Oh, as soon as I leave here, I'll think of lots of things. But this has been a lovely memory walk, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity of doing it.
You're welcome, and we really appreciate you coming in.